CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the chicken is here. We are back today with another Boom Beach video, and in today's video, guys, we have some update news that came out over the weekend. Now, I didn't post about this initially because it's not that exciting. Two, we were in the heat of Warships, and it was a really exciting finish to season 79. And as we can see, we got season 80 right around the corner here, guys. So, yeah, we're gonna get into all that and more. First, let's get into what this update entails. So, there's some bug fixes and general changes. I think out of everything, the most exciting thing for people is that Hammerman Strikes Again is going to be fixed as of right now. You get through about stage 3 or 4, and I've been seeing all these comments. I think all that we were able to say was just that it's going to be fixed in the next update. Obviously, we didn't know when the next update was, so not really great, but fortunately, that is going to be fixed. Some minor fixes, so fixing some buildings showing upgrade indicators when nothing was upgradable. So little stuff like that is going to be fixed. Stun grenaders doing damage before throwing the grenade. Nobody uses them anyways, it doesn't matter. And they fixed a lot of stuff with sonar ops. This was mainly... Oh, and the other thing was prototroops. So... prototroop upgrades have now been moved to the prototroop workshop. Producing prototroops is not possible while upgrading them. Prototroops can now be saved to loadouts, which is nice. They can be reinforced with reinforce all button, which is nice. Less steps, easier, more efficient, good. Locked higher tier procurement slots, can be unlocked for the current prototroop cycle with diamonds. So you can do things faster, you do them quicker, and yeah, so, and then Cycle of Evil stuff, all the events are going to give intel again. Hammerman, like we said, is going to be fixed. Some minor things that I'm not even going to bother going over. Balance reasons, evil coins are no longer affected by resource or reward statues, which sucks because I have some. And the prices in the evil store have been lowered to compensate that change. So for sonar ops, so you guys like that, which I think everybody did. You know, it's fun. It was mildly entertaining. It was, something to do. So the end grace period has improved. So that means sonar shop remains open a certain number of days after the event has ended, which is good because the shop shouldn't close the day it ends, especially when nobody knows when it's ending. The entry buoy will remain active after the event has ended, allowing the player to access the game mode. After the event has ended, unused depth charges will be converted to sonar coins upon entering the game mode. And lastly, unclaimed milestone rewards can be claimed during the grace period, with depth charges being converted to sonar coins. So that's cool. That's cool. So it sounds like it's always going to be slightly active, even after the event has ended. I'm not sure exactly what that means. The event ends, but the game mode is active. Accessible. Does that mean the shop's still there? It's a little kind of confusing, but poorly worded. Yeah. And yeah, that's the big stuff. Classified items now grant resources equal to current maximum storage space. Even if this causes the storage to overflow, classified items can be used if the storage is already over the limit. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of different. But anyways, little kind of heebie-jeebie crap like that. But I'm glad that, things are going to be fixed and the game's going to be working as it should. And those of you that wanted to play Hammerman are going to be able to do that again past stage, whatever it was. We'll find out here. I think from what I saw, it was stage 3 or 4 that was bugged. But you could still get through the first couple or something like that. And then I forget if the game crashed or what happened there exactly, but yeah. Always good to have the game working properly. And features not bugged, because unintended features aren't so fun. So let's talk about season 79, guys. So we were able to get our 44th top 500, which is pretty sweet. Although at this point it's looking... We got to get that top 50, guys. That's got to be in the cards at some point in the future. This season was tough because there was, it was... to get top 50, to have a good crack at it, yes, you got to grind towards the end, but you also have to have a pretty solid tech advantage, early diamond, none of the things that I had this season, so... but yeah, overall, I thought the season was fine. We did more of a review in yesterday's video, so I won't talk too much about it. But just to note that the season has finished, and I'm glad that we were able to get a really good push on, when was it, Saturday night, late on Saturday night after I got back home. And yeah, that was interesting, to say the least. And I hope you guys enjoyed it and had a great season, all that jazz. So yeah, well, I guess we talked about the update a little bit more, but I don't know. I feel like there's really not that much to go over. This was my problem of when I was looking at it, just recording something in the first place. It's like, this isn't a full video here of stuff. This is just, this feels like behind the scenes kind of maintenance things. But either way, still good to see, and we'll get the Hammerman crash here and show you what that's all about. But yeah, so season 80 is coming up. Now, we should talk a little bit about what we would like to see in season 80. Now, for me personally, I'm still hung up on these multi-nodes. I feel like Supercell is going to look at that and be like, everyone played the season, we made more money from diamonds, multi-nodes equals awesome, let's cram them into every season as many as we can. I feel like that's a bad plan. I feel like they're bad, and they should be viewed as just kind of I hate to say it, but a money grab. Like, anything that causes you to switch constantly is not fun, and it's frustrating, and it creates that tic-tac-toe meta where you just, or matchmaking, where you just match with someone that doesn't really match up with your stats, and eventually the meta kind of comes out of what is actually the best when you can combine a good strong base with a really good consistent attack. But it just, I don't know, to me it sucks the fun out of it, and I prefer before when we would have like more linear paths, and like defensive focus seasons, offensive focus seasons, maybe a lower troop health season, a higher troop damage season, lower building damage, higher building health, or vice versa. I found those were more fun. Just from a gameplay perspective, it's kind of hard to quantify that, I guess, in a way that makes sense, but it just seemed like those tech trees played out better. Like, if we look at everyone's favorite season 36 or whatever it was, there was definitely different paths that you could take. There was different rabbit holes you could go down, so you could kind of customize your tech tree in a way, but it wasn't as many crazy variables that just made everything a jumble. And then it just, like, when they put too much good stuff together, which is exactly what happened at the very end of the tech tree, all those good stat nodes, there was no push point until you had everything. So all that does is it just delays the point to when you can really play the game, which isn't good from a player perspective. It's not good from, Supercell's perspective either. So I think kind of narrowing that down a little bit, and whether that makes it into a defensive or offensive or gunboat energy or seeker or whatever season, still give the player choices, obviously, but I don't know, I just felt like it was more fun doing them that way. But that's my opinion. You guys let me know, as I'm sure you will, in the comments, if you agree, disagree, or just how would you lay out your perfect season without getting too crazy. What do you think are some core components of a good tech tree? Because it is kind of, there's things that are obviously good and things that are obviously bad, like having barrage and artillery at 2 ERs. Obviously, that's bad. But it is kind of subjective at the same time, too. So it's a difficult thing to talk about, certainly in absolutes, that, like, this way is always the best way. It's like, well, so what do you guys find within that actually works? Let me know that down below in the comments. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next one. Check it out. Prepare.